Have you ever actually wondered how our planet Earth was born? I mean, not just a vague idea of it spinning into existence, but the actual dramatic and violently chaotic reality of its birth. Picture a time way before our blue skies, before the vast oceans, before literally anything we'd recognize as home today. It's a story so incredibly cinematic, it's honestly kind of hard to believe it really happened.
So welcome to this explainer. Today, we're taking a trip back in time on a massive, almost incomprehensible scale. We're looking at the true genesis of this blue marble we call home, covering a mind-bending 4.5 billion year history. You guys, it is an epic tale of chaos, fire, and ultimately, a miraculous transformation. Okay, let's dive right into this timeline. We'll start 4.5 billion years ago with the solar nebula, jump millions of years later to a molten Earth, watch thousands of years of rain form the very first oceans, and finally, billions of years later, see the dawn of diverse life. Section 1. The birth of the solar system. A giant cloud of gas and dust. Right, so if you were to look at our solar system 4.5 billion years ago, it would be completely unrecognizable. No planets at all. Just this massive structure defined as a solar nebula. It was essentially the raw material for our entire cosmic neighborhood. And the crucial engine here? Gravity. Gravity slowly but steadily pulled this immense expanse of gas and dust together. As that material got denser and denser right at the center, the intense pressure and heat ignited, and bam, that formed our sun. But what about the rest of that leftover material? Well, while the sun definitely took the lion's share, the leftover rocks, dust, and ice didn't exactly drift around peacefully. They were caught up in this aggressive, turbulent dance. Imagine a cosmic demolition derby just going on for millions of years. These constant collisions created progressively larger and larger objects. Two rocks smash together and fuse, then that larger rock violently smashes into another, and so on. Over millions of years of this violent accretion process, our Earth slowly began to take shape. Section 2. A violent, molten world, the age of fire. Now, the young planet we just built from all those collisions, it was definitely not the serene blue sphere we know today. In its early days, Earth was literally just an extremely hot ball of molten rock. There was absolutely zero solid ground to walk on, just a churning, glowing sea of liquid magma. The sheer heat generated from those constant collisions and gravitational pressure kept the whole young planet in a completely liquid state. And the surface wasn't just hot, it was insanely active. We're talking volcanoes erupting everywhere. The intense heat and pressure from deep within the molten planet constantly tore right through what little crust tried to form. It reshaped the surface over and over again in these spectacular, violent eruptions. To make matters even more chaotic, the sky above was basically raining fire. Giant asteroids were frequently crashing into the young planet. Because the solar system was still just packed full of debris back then, Earth was subjected to this relentless, heavy bombardment from deep space. And that just kept adding even more heat and raw material to this blazing world. Section 3. The giant moon impact. A massive collision. So, all of those smaller asteroid impacts, they totally pale in comparison to what happened next. On one side, we have our early Earth, which is already a chaotic, hot target. On the other side, a Mars-sized object, literally a massive projectile on a direct collision course with us. Just try to visualize that for a second, an object the size of an entire planet violently crashing directly into Earth at thousands of miles per hour. It's almost unimaginable. The result was just absolute devastation, hurling a massive amount of material straight up into orbit. But here's the amazing part. The debris from this massive impact eventually formed our moon. Gravity went to work once again, coalescing that glowing ring of orbital debris into the beautiful silvery moon that illuminates our night sky today. Kind of wild that such a destructive event gave us the moon, right? Section 4. Oceans and cooling Earth, the age of water. Following this ultimate trial by fire, the relentless bombardment finally slowed down, and the planet began to cool. As Earth cooled from its molten state, a solid crust finally formed on the surface. But the atmosphere was incredibly thick with volcanic gases and water vapor. Eventually, as things cooled further, that vapor condensed. This led to an endless rain that poured down day and night for literally thousands of years. Just think about the staggering volume of water that represents. Thousands of years of continuous torrential downpours across the entire globe. This incredible deluge slowly pooled in the lowest parts of the new, solid crust, eventually filling up entirely to become Earth's very first oceans. Section 5. The Dawn of Life. From Microbes to Humanity.
Now, what's really interesting here is that these foundational oceans totally set the stage for the most miraculous phase of Earth's history. Deep within the water, protected from the harsh surface, the very first tiny microscopic organisms appeared, and what followed wasn't a sudden explosion of life, but billions of years of slow, relentless evolution. Step by tiny step, those microbes adapted, branched out, and became more complex. That process resulted eventually in the staggering diversity of plants, animals, and, of course, us humans that we see today.
And that brings us to this incredibly important number 1. Because despite all our powerful telescopes and deep space probes searching through countless stars and galaxies, as of today, Earth is the only one known planet in the entire universe that has successfully supported life. Just one. Out of billions of possibilities, this precise, violent, and highly unlikely sequence of events created our extraordinarily unique home.
So I want to leave you all with this thought. Knowing the incredibly violent, chaotic 4.5 billion year journey it took, from a swirling cloud of dust to a molten ball of fire to a 1,000-year rainstorm, just to create this blue marble we stand on, how will you look at our extraordinary world today? Hopefully, with a whole lot more awe. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and hey, if you want to keep unraveling the incredible facts of our universe, keep that curiosity alive.